Hi everyone and welcome. I'm Juliette and I work with both candidates and companies. So today we're breaking down how the interview process is changing and what that means for you. Companies still use technical rounds, coding challenges, case studies, take-home projects. But now they understand that AI can support candidates through many parts of that process. So technical interviews are no longer enough by themselves. That's why more pressure is moving into culture fit interviews. Companies started sounding the alarm. Roles that used to close in a month are now sitting open for 6 months. Why? Because companies realize that hiring someone who interviews well is not the same as hiring someone who actually fits the team, and a bad hire is expensive. So the old behavioral interview is evolving into something much deeper, a cultural fit interview focused on how you think, communicate, make decisions, and operate inside a team. And most candidates are completely unprepared for it. Because if you don't understand what companies are actually evaluating there, you may get cut early in the process without even realizing why. So what does this look like in practice? The first round is usually hybrid now. Part cultural fit, part light technical screening. They walk you through the role, you walk them through your background, and they're watching how you think and respond. And here's what most candidates don't realize. Companies are not looking for a perfect match. They're usually looking for someone who fits around 50 to 70% of the role and can grow into the rest. The conversation may feel casual, but it's already part of the real evaluation. They're not just asking, do you have the skills? They're asking, does this person process information and communicate in a way that works for this team? This is where it gets real. Companies are no longer just checking skills. They're checking work culture and how you operate inside a team. What kind of manager do you need? Do you need structure and frequent check-ins? Or do you work better with autonomy and fast decision-making? Because even a strong candidate won't succeed in the wrong environment. Because companies are different. Some move fast, they experiment, they take risks, they test ideas constantly. Others are structured, careful, process-driven. Neither is better. They're just different. It's no longer about the right answer, but about whether your way of thinking actually fits how that company flows. So let's look at a real example. A lot of startups today move fast. Roles shift, priorities change, and teams experiment constantly. Now imagine someone joins that environment with a very research-heavy mindset. They need structure, detailed planning, and clear processes before making decisions. At first, it may seem like a good balance, but after a few months, the friction starts. The new hire feels like the company is chaotic and disorganized. Meanwhile, the team feels like that person slows everything down and struggles to adapt to the pace. Neither side is wrong. They just operate differently. And that's exactly what companies are trying to identify during interviews now. Here's the thing, in situations like this, nobody is necessarily wrong. It's usually a cultural mismatch, where someone's work style and decision-making simply don't align with how the company operates. If you work best with structure and clear systems, forcing yourself into a fast-moving company probably won't work long-term. That's why researching the company matters more than ever. Cultural fit interview is no longer just about whether you can do the job. It's about whether you can actually grow inside that specific company. Now let's talk about what companies are actually evaluating now. First, ownership. AI can support the technical side, so companies care much more about how you take responsibility, assess risks, and talk through decisions. That's why you will hear questions like, what went wrong in this project? What challenges came up? What did you do when requirements changed? Second, conflict. Companies are not looking for people who avoid disagreement, but they also don't want someone who turns everything into confrontation. What they want is constructive dialogue, someone who can explain their thinking, engage with different opinions, and focus on the best outcome for the business, not just proving themselves right. Third, companies are evaluating what kind of team environment you actually thrive in. Companies are checking how much guidance you need, how comfortable you are with changing conditions, and whether your work style fits their environment. And fourth, how well you adapt and change your mind. Expect questions like, when was the last time you changed your opinion at work? Because they want people who can process new information, engage in real discussion, and adjust quickly when needed. In fast-moving teams, being too rigid slows everyone down. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Next episode, we're getting into what to expect inside the Vibe interview, the final round with the whole team where the actual offer gets decided.